I... Jesus fucking Christ. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, I got a headache after watching this film. I'm not even lying, I'm not even saying it as a joke. If you like this film, teach their own. I'll be honest, part of me was hoping I would never get requested this, but this was a paid request for Vontae. Thank you so much for that. I've said I'm open to pretty much any type of request, and for those who want to send it, it would be directly to my PayPal or my Patreon, and those links are down below the info box and under the video. Most of these videos have those links. And I don't know where to start with this film. At least if you like it, cool. But I'm not giving Kevin Smith a pass because I used to be a fan of his. I really do. People don't understand how much I was a Kevin Smith fan back in the day. And that's a whole like 20-minute thing I could get into. But with this movie, Clerks 3, Kevin Smith's a big fan of Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, and he said, you know what, let me do my Last Jedi, my Alien 3 with this movie. Even though this movie ended it perfectly, this movie ended it on a high note. Spoilers starting now. Kevin Smith said, you know what, I'm going to kill off this Betty character and her unborn baby before the start of this film, because there's a flyer that literally says she died in 2006, and again the baby had not been born, and she was pregnant by the end of this, so it was, I don't know, a week after, a day after, who knows. Again, great start to your comedy. Dante, of course, is miserable after all these years. Randall gets a heart attack. A bunch of unfunny shit happens. Because there's not one joke in this film that laughed, unless you liked a running gag about NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Randall decides to make a film. They just redo scenes from Clerks 1, only it's not as funny. It was done funnier in this. You just go watch those scenes in this, which is done funnier. Because nowadays, Kevin Smith's just a pot-smoking hack. He cannot write for shit nowadays in terms of comedy. He used to. I think the pot gave him a bunch of fucking brain fog or something. And then Randall becomes such a piece of shit. So I guess all that stuff at the end, we talked about how much he loved Dante, and we showed a growth of the character. We showed Randall coming out of his shell and saying, don't leave me, man, I love you. They both take the initiative. Dante takes the initiative of his life to be with this girl who's pregnant with this kid and take that chance and propose to her. And she's like, what kept you so long? And what took you so long? And Randall's like, I'm going to admit that I care for you. I'm going to take off my poser facade. Let's open up a business ourselves. You say it was a waste of time in life. It wasn't for me because I was hanging out with my friend. All that is fucking pointless and out the goddamn window. Apparently none of that is in this. Randall didn't grow. Randall's depressed as well. After a heart attack, I did nothing with my life. Even though in this, it's like, it wasn't a waste because I was hanging out with my friend. Now it's like, it's a waste. It wasn't a waste in Clerks 2, but it is a waste now in Clerks 3. Dante was going to be happy, but as Dante puts in Clerks 3, he didn't get his happy ending, he didn't get his third act. Why is this movie more depressing than a fucking funeral? Or as depressed as Alien 3? It's a fucking comedy. It's realistic, Matt. Some of these scenes happen in real life. This is a fucking franchise that this had a goddamn dance number. To the, was it Jackson 5? Had a goddamn dance number. And a donkey show. This film, there's a fucking scene where Jay and Silent Bob just gonna recreate. One of the only things they recreate in their film of this movie is the Moobies restaurant. And they did high with a person who's in a Moobies costume, and they're dancing from the camera. Then this person dances from the camera. But you want to talk about realism now? Fuck out of here. And then Randall was such a piece of shit that Dante's having PTSD. You did seen fucking Star Wars ghosts, Force ghosts of his fucking Rosario Dawson, who talks about how many people she's fucked in heaven, like Malcolm X, Malcolm Triple X, and Carl Sagan. And then Randall gives Dante a heart attack. I didn't say Randall murdered Dante, I said Randall killed Dante. And that's what happened. That's how this movie ends. That's how after all these years, you know, not the perfect friendship, but by the end of this film is rather sweet. By the end of this film is more sweet. This fits it perfectly, this review. Thrown in the fucking dumpster, lit it on fire, stuck up a fucking rhino's ass, put into a goddamn Candido volcano, shot with a fucking rocket, obliterated through a fucking black hole to the other ass end of the goddamn universe. Just like Kevin Smith's career. So Randall is such a shit friend that Dante has to let him have it, and be honest, but then gets a heart attack. So because of Randall's bullshit, Dante gets a heart attack. And then Randall's going to show him the movie, but we don't see what the hell he showed him because they're cuts to Dante in a movie theater with his fucking Force Ghost wife and watching mostly the first movie. There might have been footage of other stuff, I can't remember. I was getting so pissed off. And then Dante gives up. Because even Rosario Dawson's like, don't you want to stay for the ending? Nah, I trust the director. The guy that gave you a heart attack? The guy who... And then they walk off, and then you have a funeral scene where literally Randall says, "You're not supposed to be here today." Jesus Christ. And then it cuts to fucking Randall in the quit stop, his new buddy Elias, who's fucking annoying in this movie. I did deal with him in Clerks 2. Here he's fucking aggravating with this whole, I'm Christian, then become a Satanist. Then the running gag is each time he pops up, he's wearing different clothes. And one he's wearing like a Blade Runner type of stuff. But he doesn't know what Blade Runner is. And then Randall says, I wish you were here. And then it pans out and there's Dante as a Force ghost watching Randall. And then nostalgia. Remember when Clerks pulled back? No, not Clerks. Clerks 2. Remember when Clerks 2 pulled back? And there was the mom, Kevin Smith's mom, in real life, putting the milk. Here it's Kevin Smith's real life daughter dealing with the milk. Just nostalgia. You remember nostalgia? Do you remember them berries? Do you remember? Yeah, I remember when Kevin Smith was worth the fucking fat fuck of his shit. Here's what people don't understand. I used to be a big Kevin Smith fan. And before I did the film, I gotta let this out. I used to be a big fucking Kevin Smith fan. I remember I saw Mallrats first on VHS tape around 99, 2000, give or take. And then, oh, this is really good. What else has he done? Clerks was on cable, independent film channel, uncut, really enjoyed it. This became one of my favorite, top 10 favorite comedies ever. Oh, what else has he done? Chasing Amy, Dogma. Oh, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is coming out. Wasn't in the theater around where I was at, but got the DVD. Really enjoyed it. Oh, what else has he done? Okay, he was involved with this film called Drawing Flies. Didn't mind the film. wanted to get it because Kevin Smith does a commentary on it. But then, again, didn't mind it. Oh, he's on the commentary for this film called Vulgar. Oh, what interviews has he done? Oh, Jersey Girl. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. I think the commentaries on that DVD is better than the movie. He did one with him and Ben Affleck. He did one with him, Jason Mewes, who just got clean and sober at that point, and Scott Mosier, the producer. Again, those two commentaries and some of the making of interviews are better than the movie, Jersey Girl, but Jersey Girl I would rather watch than this. Clerks 2, I think, was the best end to his View Askew career. He never should have touched any of these fucking characters again. He should have stuck to his word, grow a pair of fucking balls, and do it. Now, I'm not a fan of his stuff afterward, but I'll take those over what the fuck I just saw. Yoga Hosers is technically his worst film, but this film makes me the most fucking mad because of how much he destroyed these fucking characters. For what? Because his own goddamn midlife crisis? Because he's in a fucking state of affairs that he used to be so beloved, and now, not all, but there are people that Kevin Smith can do no wrong. And if you feel that way, teach their own. I'm not going to knock you. But in my opinion, as a guy who was a fan, yes, he can do wrong, and he's done it for the past, like, 15 fucking years. Whether it be the whole He-Man stuff, and, oh, YouTube, you guys are lying about it. When no, they told, what was it, Clownfish TV was telling the truth, and you fucking lied about it. And fine, you wanted to hold off, just don't say shit. Don't interact. To the point how Kevin Smith has changed. I get it. When you, from 20 years old, you'll be a different person at 50 years old. Sometimes. Not always, sometimes. But to me, Kevin Smith downgraded. He didn't grow, he downgraded. He downgraded in writing. Dare I say downgraded in directing? He downgraded in everything. I'm glad he survived his heart attack. I'm glad he's doing fine healthy-wise. I'm glad for that. But I'm not going to kiss his ass when I think this shit sucks. This film could be 2 words. Sad, pathetic. And when Kevin Smith doing these interviews, anytime you see Kevin Smith now is this. His eyes are so wide, he's like being an animated cartoon character. Hey guys, this is Kevin Smith. Oh, hey, how you doing? You know, I remember seeing a podcast recently about a comic book artist who worked with Kevin about, you know, that's a whole other thing. Well, fuck it. Kevin Smith's talking about how, I guess, like, when he first got to meet Kevin at this convention where they're supposed to do a Q&A because his comic book's going to be coming out, the first thing Kevin Smith asked him is, would you like to smoke a bowl? And then apparently during the Q&A, Kevin Smith just kept talking, no one else could answer. No one else could say any words. And I know the comic book guy was like, well, why the fuck am I even here? I don't even get a chance to answer. This guy's just talking. And then Kevin Smith's telling ass-fucking jokes when the guy's daughter, who's 11 years old, is right there. I get it, I'm cursing. But I'm cursing, and I can't see who's on the other side. But if Kevin Smith can look and see, oh, there's a little kid here, maybe, you know, leave the ass-fucking jokes for later. Just saying. Not a fucking prude, far from it, but come on. But anyway, you look at Kevin Smith interviews back in the day, he's either smoking cigarettes, like, yeah, okay, hey, doing well. Look at an evening with Kevin Smith 1. Look at the first evening with Kevin Smith, that was Kevin Smith's demeanor. He just acted normal, casual, not a fucking cartoon character who watches all these trailers for movies and cries. It's one thing if you see a trailer and it hit you in the soft spot. Okay. But it hit him 18 fucking times in the soft spot. Captain Marvel, mention me. I'm gonna cry. The CW, the Flash ran and did something. Cry. Marvel came out with a new movie. Cry. Star Wars Disney came out with a new movie. Cry. God damn it, man. Is it the weed? I never smoked weed. I'm not against people smoking weed. But goddamn, man, is it... But for this guy, maybe it's bad. I think he downgraded his writing and gave him a bunch of fucking brain fog. What the fuck happened to you, Kevin Smith? What the fuck happened to you? He turned to a pansy? He turned to a pussy? And, Zach and Miri make a porno? Him trying to be Judd Apatow, although sadly, that's a better movie than this about a group wanting to make a film. And Zach Demiri, I'd gladly watch over this. That's another thing. I remember listening to his podcast back the other day, Smodcast, with him and his producer friend Scott Mosier. And the early days were good. And then when Kevin kept fucking smoking weed and half the podcast was just him laughing, wasn't as fun, I stopped listening. But I remember when Zach Demiri came out and the opening weekend was very disappointing because apparently in his circles they were hyping it up. And he's like, wait, it made that little on opening weekend? Because Tim Smith thought this would be the big, like, $80 million moneymaker for him. But the fact that it barely made more than Jay and Silent Bob Straight Back got him in such a depression, he would wake and bake weed. And he wasn't a weed smoker much before that movie. Once in a blue moon. But Seth Rogen, and Tim Smith said this from his words, Seth Rogen got him to smoke more and more weed, and Kevin Smith got hooked, and then after that Zach and Miri underperformed, he just wake and bake for like weeks. And then he's been doing that ever since. And then you could Tusk about a guy turned to a fucking walrus, and yoga hosers with Nazi bratwurst, and a running gag of sorry about that, cause get it, Canadians say a boot. One of the worst fucking comedies I've ever seen. Jane Silent Bob Reboot was just sad. And I didn't like that film, but this film makes me more fucking mad for what they did with the characters. Just completely killed this movie. This movie must be in the dumpster. Why, Kevin? Why? I'm sorry you got your own fucking midlife crisis bullshit. Get it worked out. Or get some fucking therapy or something. I'm gonna need therapy after doing this fucking review. And then you go to this movie. If I go step by step in the movie. Oh, I should have mentioned this before. You want to see a much better review of this movie? Go watch this guy Joel Black, who did... His video is titled, I'm from New Jersey. It's an hour long, it's very well edited. Did a great, fantastic job. I could not say it better than he did. Again, the user's name is Joel Black. Am I from Meet Joel Black? No. Joel Black is I'm from New Jersey, Clerks 3 review. You start with Dante going up to the quit stop. Lo and behold, once again, the gum are in the lots again. Gum's in the lots. Takes it off, opens up the shutters. There's a flyer, Rosario, in loving memory. Because they thought it was a great idea to kill her off and her unborn kid off. Again, in this comedy. Well, he wanted to do something. This is a fucking franchise that the big joke in the first film was, how many dicks did you suck? 37. 37 dicks? In a row? Give me a fucking break. So Dante's miserable. You get more of Hockey on the Roof. Jay and them are back to doing drugs. They have the shop next door at the quit stop selling drugs. And everyone is just doing a poor performance. They're mudding. They're over the hill. Jason Mewes I remember back in the day, I think it's because back in the day, Jay was that guy. He just was that guy. He was in Clerks 1 and Clerks 2. And even in this one, he handled it well. But here, it's like so over-exaggerated performance. Mudding. I'm like, what the hell is this? Dante, Brian O'Halloran, when he has to do his crying scenes, Blubberella is what I kept thinking. They did that well at the end of this fucking movie. But then when he has his PTSD, he's like, I miss you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? What the fuck? What was Kevin Smith doing? Oh, smoking weed. I already answered my fucking question. And then Dante and Randall at the quit stop, and they're talking with Elias, and they're trying to have this dialogue, but the dialogue isn't that funny. Isn't that witty? Isn't that fast? Isn't that crisp? Everyone just seems tired. And everyone looks tired. Everyone looks over there. I did. We all get old. It's how it is. But like, no one, like everyone looks really run. They've been run through the ringer. I'm not trying to be mean about that, but it just makes it more depressing to watch. And the story, everything's depressing to watch in this fucking movie. This is like one of the most depressing fucking comedies I've ever seen. And I'm sorry, I did not want that in a Clerks 3. And I did not want a Clerks 3. I knew something was going to happen. I didn't know exactly it'd be this. But it was detrimental to these two fucking movies. Bunch of NFT jokes, because Kevin Smith's really into that. And he's really into cryptocurrency. So, the Christian Crypto Club. And Elias has this silent bob of his own called Blockchain. And Randall and Elias going back about religion. And Randall's big joke is, you know what, there's going to be a movie with Matt Damon starring as Jesus. It'll be called The Born Nativity. He has a heart attack, and the way that's done, the way it's structured, and the blocking, just very off about it. Amateur. So Randall gets to a hospital, and there's a nurse, or a doctor, in a witch outfit. Why? Because they stole a fucking joke from the Clerks cartoon. What was it, the mayor? Each time he popped up, he was in a different costume. So again, people want to talk about how it's being fucking realistic, and you have scenes like this. And then Justin Long comes in, and this annoying fucking accent. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to go for. And I need to shave you. He's like talking like this, like, hello there. I need to shave you, because we need to go through your pee hole to do the surgery. I need to shave you. And Dante's like, Randall's like, oh no, let him cover his ears. I got a little dick. I always said I had a massive dick, but I got a little dick. And this goes on for like 5 fucking minutes. And then he has a surgery. What the doctor's saying is pretty much stuff I've heard Kevin Smith say when he had his heart attack. What the doctor told him, he put the words in her mouth. The fact it was called the Widowmaker, and Randall's mentioning the Mandalorian. Elias, he thinks that because he was talking about religion and Jesus won't help, now he's going to be a Satanist. So he takes his fucking pants down in front of the hospital and says, no, I have to fuck Satan, or Satan needs to fuck me. This is the jokes. This is the humor we have now. And then Randall wakes up and he says he wastes his life. Which again, kind of contrary to what he said in this. That, Dante, you think we waste our lives? We're having fun? And that was the whole point of the goddamn movie, is that being together is what the life is. The community we have together, that's what the life is. That's what means more. That's out the fucking window now. No, actually, that didn't matter. Because I didn't do anything, and I'm 50, I need to make a movie. Yeah, but Kevin, when you made that movie, you were in your 20s. And so he gets out, they decide to make the movie. Oh, you remember that part? Remember that moment? Hey, I'm gonna write a script. Remember when that happened? Yeah, you all remember in the same fucking day. It's funny how most of the stuff you remember that you don't put into this, even though he had all those years before Clerks 1, years after, from Clerks 1 to Clerks 2, all the stuff from Clerks 2 here, you can't put any of that stuff in there because it's not nostalgia. If that's the case, then, okay, you want to put some stuff like, oh, I remember that moment, but then put a bunch of new shit. That's what? Let the audience be clued in into any events that happened before Clerks 1, or any events that happened after Clerks 1, or all the events that happened after Clerks 2 at the quick stop. Put all that stuff in there, so it's like, okay, you're in the quick stop, and you're doing kind of like Clerks 1 again, but it's new because these are all different situations that happened. No! All their memories is Clerks 1, the movie. That's all that happened. Apparently that one day in Clerks 1 is the only thing to ever happen in their entire life of working Quick Stop. Nothing fucking else. Why? Because remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this. Oh, well, one or two times remember this, but remember this. You know what? If you want to know about the making of Clerks and you want to see about that, just go watch the fucking documentary here. The Snowball Effect. Just watch that. Trying to find where it is on here. It is on here, but yeah, just go watch that. Just go fucking watch that. Snowball Effect, the story of Clerks. I mean, you can't see it, but just go watch that. Just go watch that. Who knows? Maybe someone upload it on YouTube. I don't know. And Randall just being a ditch, saying, oh, it's my story, this is my movie, how Dante's so unimportant to the story, and then Dante has to pay for it. You're the producer, you have to pay for it. Where am I going to get the money? Well, I don't know. And Randall doesn't really do much in terms of directing. We don't even see much of him writing the script, he just has it. More jokes about cryptocurrency, and also about a kite, which has a Buddy Christ from Dogma on the kite. And also, they don't make this film, but nothing's updated for the year 2022 when this is made. Because again, Kevin wants to reference his fucking movie. Oh, his movie costs like $27,000 or so this is going to cost the same. Even though it would not, because literally, if you're in 2022 shooting in a fucking store, you would shoot on this. You could literally shoot the entire fucking movie on this. And this. You could literally shoot the whole fucking movie on that, and since you're playing yourselves, you have the store. You could shoot Clerks 1. You wouldn't even need black and white. You could literally shoot Clerks 1 for probably a couple $100 at most. Maybe at most $1,000, $2,000 just being out there. But nothing's updated. And also, I'm looking at this going, you know what, in 2022, no one would see this fucking film. Because of streaming, because of all the different revenues of media that so many films did disappear. But none of that is in this movie. None of that is part of the actual problems that would happen. I guess Kevin Smith still thinks this movie takes place in 1990 fucking 4, like when he did the first fucking film. I'm bad with years, so I'm trying to remember. It was 94. It was somewhere around there. It's like Kevin Smith wants to go, nah. Actually, Kevin, Randall making this movie would not work in today's age. Clerks 1 worked at the time it worked at. It's a damn good, funny comedy. But if Clerks was the same movie that came out today, it might be known but not as well known compared to back then, because you didn't have all these streaming revenues and all this stuff that would get buried under. You had VHS. Pretty much that's it at the time. Maybe a bit of cable. But now that goes into effect in this. Nostalgia for the past, nostalgia for the past. While Dante's having visions of his dead fucking wife, again, whether it's supposed to be an actual ghost or just his imagination, at this point I don't fucking know. And Rosario was talking about how, yeah, I fucked Malcolm X and Miles Davis and Carl Sagan. I told you I was into romantic love. Bullshit. In Clerks 2, there's literally a bit here where you initiated the love. And the weirdest spot with the Dante show, but you turn and you kiss Dante. Because the whole thing united to romantic love, you thought that was bullshit anyway. You didn't truly believe in it, you just didn't want to get hurt. And you didn't want to ruin what Dante had. Even Dante mentions, well, you believed in it when I gave you the wedding ring, the ring. And then Kevin kind of wants to shrug that off. What? No. I'm sorry, that's not good writing. I don't know why. If you love Kevin Smith, good, but I don't think he deserves free passes all the time. He doesn't deserve a free pass for the He-Man bullshit, for Yoga Hosers, for Jane Silent Bob reboot, or for this fucking movie, in my opinion. So you have the auditions, and that's unfunny as hell, because, hey, let's get people I know. Let's get the cast of He-Man. So there's Sarah Michelle Gellar and her twat waffle, Freddie Prinze Jr. Fuck Freddie Prinze Jr., he's a fucking joke. Fucking bitch in heat. Sarah Michelle Gellar, you know, she is what, you know, I don't mind her as an actress. I liked her in Buffy. I don't mind her, but Freddie Prinze Jr. is a twat waffle. Oh, I guess you get the guy who voiced He-Man, because in the middle of audition, he auto blue says, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power." I mean, it's just like, oh my fucking god, man. At this, Kevin really doesn't get that a lot of people didn't like his fucking. I know there's people who did. Get in the second season for some fucking reason. Well, well, I watched it because it was a request, but I don't have Netflix, so I saw it in other ways, so I didn't support the shit, because I don't want to support the shit, because I don't want to give it, just I didn't give Kevin Smith my money on this. How do you see it? You figure it out. Because I don't want to support bullshit and give them my money to support more of their bullshit. But if someone wants to pay me to watch it, to tear a fucking asshole, then I will. Because no one else wants to do it, I'll fucking do it. I'm not afraid of Kevin Smith. If I sneeze, he'll blow away in the fucking wind. He's a fucking joke nowadays. Sadly, a badly told joke nowadays. Because here's the thing about Kevin Smith. He started off strong. Started off great. And his fucking ending of his career became one giant wet fart. Again, that does remind me, I was talking about the Smodcast, the podcast episode, for like, what, there was like 1-2 hours he was talking with his buddy Scott Mosier about what happened, was acting Marion building up and building up, and then he was going to reveal it in the second half, what happened, whether it was the marketing, maybe the Weinsteins, who knows. Nope, nah, never mind, I'm not going to talk about it. Ended in a wet fart. Just like his comic book stuff. Oh, I'm going to do all these comic book stuff, and then it was supposed to be this many issues, but then the rest never got made. Ended in a wet fart. His fucking career ended in a wet fart. Just like Dante's life ended in a wet fart. And the auditions, Anthony Michael Hall for some fucking reason is there. I guess because he got Judd Nelson, Jay and Silent Bob straight back, so now he gets Anthony Michael Hall. Ben Affleck and in a horrible accent. Kevin Smith, as Silent Bob mentions, we gotta shoot this in black and white. I'm sitting there going, well, yet again, Kevin Smith doesn't know or doesn't want to update it. No one is going to buy a black and white film. Studios are very against that. Let alone, even there's not even a lot of independent films that are shot in black and white nowadays in 2022. But again, he's got to make you remember this movie. This was done in this movie. And then it's just recreations of scenes from the first film that are not as funny. And there's nothing entertaining about the recreations of this, like behind the scenes stories. No, it's just, oh, there's the cat in the cat box, like in the first movie. There's the two of them talking about Randall's cousin, whatever, trying to suck his own dick, and then Jason Mewes muddy. What? Is that really true? I like Jason Mewes, but this is his worst performance as Jay. His worst performance. Complete, utter mudding. Oh, Jay and Silent Bob doing the dance stuff. The guy getting his hand stuck in the Pringles can. Then they don't shoot one scene in movies. That's where Jay and Silent Bob get some of the people, including the guy, I think the lady in the movie's outfit, stoned. And they do this thing where they're dancing, it's done in slow motion. Trying to be like, I don't know, a shitty music video. And then Brian O'Halloran has a PTSD, sees his ghost wife, and Rosemary's like, don't run away, Dante. Don't run away, Dante. It does it. Horrible. And then they go back to shooting the quit stop. And there's some people there, and they're only there because the guy is Kevin Smith's. When Kevin Smith does the Fat Man on Batman and does other podcasts, this is a guy that I forget his name. He's a black guy who does a lot of his stuff with him on YouTube and the podcast Fat Man with Batman, what the fuck it was called. Shows how little shit's I give. And then they're going to shoot. They're there to do promotion. Dante comes back, but he's drunk. They do the salsa shark, like the first movie. Because before that, Randall pulled him to a freezer and said, "This is my movie, you're ruining it, you're being so selfish," and blah blah blah. And so then, this is the one moment that I will say that was a good performance, to be fair, by Brian O'Halloran. This one moment. I think because there's a lot of truth to it. And Joel Black from in his video, I'm from New Jersey, he said it best. He said the way Dante is talking to Randall about how You know, his life is miserable, and my life sucks is I didn't get my happy ending, I didn't get my third act, blah blah blah. It's almost like he's the audience yelling at Randall, who's Kevin Smith. And the actual Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, puts the camera down as if he can't fucking face what he's doing. Like he knows he's doing a shitty thing, he can't admit it. But I don't know about that, because I think Kevin Smith, he thinks this shit's golden. He thinks it's perfect. Which just discombobulates and confounds me and baffles me even more. That he thought this was the right, great decision. You could say he always wanted to kill Dante, because he wanted to kill him in this movie, and the alternate ending where Dante was shot. I don't know why he always wanted to kill Dante. It's like Harrison Ford always wanted to kill Han Solo. And oh, well, at first, Kevin Smith's like, well, in this movie, at first I was going to write that he died from the C to the O to the VID. And then there was another way that he died, and I forget, but then with this. And what Brian O'Halloran and his character is saying is true, but it's even more depressing to go, yeah, the guy that we... well, I'll speak for myself. I rooted for in these films, his life is a failure. His life's been turned to shit. His life is miserable. The whole fucking thing is a failure. And then Randall, because he treated him like shit, gave him the heart attack. Because if Randall had a kernel of the end of this movie, which showed his growth, but then they threw that out the window as if that didn't happen, this wouldn't lead to this. But it did, and then Dante has a heart attack. And they build up to that because when they leave early in the film, when Randall's leaving the heart attack, the witch nurse doctor tells Dante, you should have your heart checked out too. Gee, I wonder why she said that. So Dante has a heart attack, and Randall is still kind of treating him like shit until Elias tells him, because Randall's like, it's a heart attack, it's no big deal, I survived one. And then Elias goes, you're shit. Oh, it's nothing. Then Elias goes, well, how do you think he got the money? And then, oh, Dante, I didn't know you got the money. That shouldn't fucking matter is my point. It shouldn't matter that he got the money. It shouldn't fucking matter. That should not be the thing that makes you want to cry and try to rush to Dante because he's the one who got the budget for your shitty movie. That should not be the point. The point is that he's right. What he said was right, and he immediately tried to say that for Dante. And then he gets his realization, and he's like, oh man. Because that's not what fucking matters. Dante getting the budget for your shitty movie is not what matters. What Dante said at that moment, and how you treated him, and how you didn't help him, didn't try to help him, that's what fucking mattered. Again, just the more ridiculous, stupid writing that Kevin Smith, he used to write, he can't anymore. If there's any fucking film that proves it, this does. This does. So then Randall goes home, and then he's like, hey Dante, I'm going to show you the movie. I'm here, man. I'm like, well, Dante can't even say whether he wants to watch your stupid fucking movie. Just Dante's got all these tubes and he can barely say and can't say or do anything. So he's like, I don't want to watch your fucking movie. Fuck away from me. But then we don't see his movie. We don't see, like... Instead, it's Kevin trying to be artsy-fartsy. Dante's in a movie theater with his fucking Force Ghost wife, watching the first movie. Because there might be other clips, but I mainly remember the first movie being shown. And then he's ready to give up his life. There's nothing else for him to live for in his eyes. Are you going to stay to watch the ending? No, I trust the director. He was my best friend. The guy that gave you a heart attack? The guy that even after Clerks 2 treated you like shit? Stop lying to yourself. You obviously feel the same way. That's why you've given up on your fucking life to be with your ghost fucking wife. And then people, so many times I read that people, oh my god, this is a masterpiece. I cried at the end. Why? Because of how shitty he fucked over these characters? Made Randall a piece of shit? Unlikable, despicable person that caused his friend a fucking heart attack and killed him? Didn't murder him. I didn't say he murdered him, but he killed Dante. That's what? Hey, anytime you watch this film, remember, this guy killed this guy. Hey, anytime you watch this film, remember, this guy killed this guy. Causes death. Just how shitty he was. Hey, if you watch these two films, yeah, at the end of the film, where there's a bit of hope, nah, he's gonna be a failure, a waste of a life, he dies. Hey, this happy ending? No. So Tim Smith took a dump on his movies, took a shit on his legacy, took a shit on his franchise, and there's still people that applaud for it. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand it. By the way, you notice I haven't talked much about the humor and comedy in this fucking comedy, because there's nothing fucking funny in it. It's more depressing. I would say nihilistic. The Alien 3 of comedies. You could call this the Alien fucking 3 of comedies. I despise this fucking film. I hate this fucking film. I truly do. And that's why, for me personally, this is the worst film I've seen this year. Because of just how completely taking a huge dump on films that I love. It was like watching Alien fucking 3 again. It really truly was. And like Alien 3, I'm going to pretend this film just doesn't fucking exist. Clerks 2 was the ending. I avoid Kevin Smith films. The only ones I've seen in the past are ones that's a paid request. And that is the only way you will ever fucking get me to watch another Kevin Smith again, is if it was a paid request. I've been done with Kevin Smith for a while. If there's any final nail to the fucking coffin, it's this one. You get to a fucking funeral, and the big fucking thing is Randall literally says, "Oh, you're not even supposed to be here today." And then it ends with the quit stop, and then, oh, the big drama is was it Emma? The almost fiance of Dante that was played by Kevin Smith's real life wife, and she gave Dante the money, and Dante said he was collateral for the store, and then, oh my gosh, she's going to buy the store. I don't care about any of this. Why does Kevin Smith think anyone cares if the store gets fucking bought out? You just killed Dante because he fucking gave up on his shit life. The fact that that's not how it ends, and then, oh my god, but then they got the money because of the NFTs, cryptocurrency, because of Elias's Butt Boy blockchain. And then Elias gonna be his new buddy, Randall's new buddy. And then there's Dante's Force Ghost. I was sitting there going, this is unbelievably insane that this is what happened. But again, why am I that surprised when I look at what Kevin Smith's become nowadays? He can't write, he can't, people say he could never direct, but this is so, I don't want to say heartbreaking, but in a way it is. That You take beloved characters and you completely trash them, and there's so many people. This gets a 6.5 on IMDb, and I simply do not get it. If people saying, yeah, it's a masterpiece, it's one of Kevin Smith's best films, what the fuck movie did people watch? Because I obviously didn't watch the same fucking movie they did. Where are the laughs? Where are the jokes? How are you okay with it taking this and throwing it in the dumpster? How are you okay with, yeah, well, that happens in real life? This is not reality, folks. There's a goddamn donkey show and a dance number, musical number. This stuff is, no one talks like this in real life, but you amplify it, and that's the entertaining effect of it. No one went into these films thinking they're realistic. Don't give me that fucking shit. Fuck you, Kevin Smith. I never want to see that motherfucker's face again. This was such a blasphemy. And then the irony. I don't know if this is true, but I swear I fucking read up that he's willing to make a Clerks 4. For what? Oh yeah, there's some kind of thing afterward, I should say, text, or not text, but like Kevin Smith says, well, Randall, he kept making movies till he was 90, and he still worked at the Quit Stop. So what? I don't give a shit about Randall. You made me not care about Randall. You made me hate the Randall character. Why would anyone like Randall after this movie? He was a selfish prick. He caused Dante a heart attack. He thought the best he could do is show a film that we didn't see. We didn't see Randall's film. We saw your film, Kevin Smith, not Randall's film. Great, I know Kevin Smith always thought of himself as Randall. There's that thing. Kevin Smith wanted to play Randall back in the day, but he thought, I can't memorize his dialogue, so they cast Jeff Anderson. But you look at all these films, how Randall was into movies, how Randall wanted to talk, how Randall, you know, as Kevin himself put it, got the best lines, and he thought of himself as Randall. And Clerks 2, that's why he put in Randall's mouth the whole, there's only one return, it's not Return of the Teen, it's Return of the Jedi. Because Kevin Smith did that in a fucking Q&A. I think the second evening with Kevin Smith, he did the same fucking bit. So really, what this seems like is Kevin Smith in the former Randall wanting to kill this movie because he knows that anytime people mention him, they always mention this movie, and this is the movie they will always forever mention Kevin Smith. No matter, because people took a dump on Yoga Hosers or the He-Man cartoon, all the shit, and they keep mentioning this. It's like, okay, you guys always remember me for this. I'm going to kill this. No, what you did is you killed both these movies. Fuck you, Kevin Smith. But yeah, technically, yes. No, he didn't kill them because I could just rewatch them. They're still here in my hands, and they're not gone. But just, fuck you forever, Kevin Smith. You are a fucking piece of fucking hack of a shit. Keep smoking your bowl, and please never write or direct again. I hope so. Just be in your fucking house, smoke your fucking bowls, put the bowl in your head, up your ass, up your fucking derriere, up your pie hole, up your dick hole. I don't give a fuck. Put it up there, sit there, and shut up. Fucking wide-eyed fuck. Goddamn cartoon character you want to see get kicked into a fucking, right into Judge Doom's hands. Fuck this movie, man. I hate this movie with a passion. You have no idea. And this is just par for the course, you know. They trash Star Wars, they trash Star Trek, they trash Ninja Turtle, they trash everything, so why not, you know, trash the... It's always the... It's always the case. Well, not everybody has a happy ending. Who the fuck does have a happy ending nowadays in movies? Captain Kirk didn't. Han Solo didn't. Luke Skywalker didn't. Who the fuck has a happy ending nowadays? Ellen Ripley didn't. Rocky Balboa really didn't. Death of his wife. And all the bullshit Creed movies. Getting cancer. Who the fuck has a happy ending? Who the fuck does? And what the fuck they do with Indiana Jones now? No, who the fuck does have a happy ending nowadays? Who? Sorry, like I said, if you want to see a much better version of a review, go watch Joe Black's I'm from New Jersey video. He did much better, more articulated. Me, I just curse a lot. Fuck you, Kevin Smith. See you guys later. Bye-bye.